Good morning, everyone. In the last class, we derived the Cauchy-Riemann equations in Cartesian coordinates. If f of z is equal to u of x comma y plus iv of x comma y, right, is to be analytic. Yes, if the first order partial derivative is dou u by dou x, dou u by dou y, dou v by dou x, dou v by dou y are exist, right, and then we written the Cauchy-Riemann equations in Cartesian form. Dou u by dou x is equals to dou v by dou y, and dou u by dou y is equals to minus dou v by dou x. These are the Cauchy-Riemann equations for a function to be analytic. Yes, f of x, z is equal to u of x comma y plus iv of x comma y to be analytic, and these CR equations are called as CR equations in Cartesian form. Now I am trying to derive the CR equations in polar form. If f of z is equals to u of r comma theta plus iv of r comma theta, that means the representation of the function in terms of r comma theta, right? Then we have to prove the CR equations. They are dou u by dou r is equal to 1 by r dou v by dou theta, and dou u by dou theta is equal to minus r dou v by dou r. So in order to prove the CR equations in polar form, first you should take the function, analytic function in r comma theta. Since z is equals to x plus iy, yes, to convert the representation of a complex number in polar form, we take the x is equals to r cos theta, y is equals to r sin theta, x plus iy is equals to, by taking x is equals to r cos theta, y is equals to r sin theta, r cos theta plus I r sin theta. So this is same as r if you common cos theta plus I sin theta. So this is same as r into e to the power of I theta. That means z is equals to, therefore z is equals to r into e to the power of I theta. That is the representation of the complex number in the modulus amplitude form, or simply we polar form, right? Since w is equals to f of z is equals to, is here u of r comma theta plus iv of r comma theta, which is a function, which is analytic function, and the first order partial derivatives, they are dou u by dou r, dou u by dou theta, dou v by dou r, dou v by dou theta, they are existing. Okay, that implies this can be written as f of z. Z is replaced by what? As r e to the power of I theta is equals to u r comma theta plus I v of r comma theta. Say this is equation number 1. Now differentiating 1 partially with respect to r. See, now I am going to differentiating 1 partially with respect to r. F of derivative is what? A function of x derivative is f dash of r into e to the power of I theta. Now we should concentrating on the r, keeping theta as constant. So r derivative is 1, e to the power of I theta is considered to be constant into e to the power of I theta. The derivative of a function of r comma theta with respect to r, that is dou u by dou r plus I dou v by dou r. Say this is equation number 2. Now differentiating 1 again partially with respect to theta. See, here it is f dash of derivative of f of x is what? F of r e to the power of I theta is f dash of r e to the power of I theta. Yes, differentiating partially with respect to theta, keeping r as constant. So into r into e to the power of I theta derivative is e to the power of I theta into I theta derivative with respect to theta is I, is equals to u r comma theta derivative with respect to theta dou u by dou theta plus I into dou v by dou theta. Say this is equation number 3. 2 divided by 3 gives, 2 divided by 3 gives is LHS divided by LHS, RHS divided by RHS. So we have f dash of r e to the power of I theta into e to the power of I theta divided by f dash of r e to the power of I theta into r e to the power of I theta into I is equals to, the RHS terms are dou u by dou r plus I dou v by dou r by dou u by dou theta plus I dou v by dou theta. See, yes, f dash of r e to the power of I theta, f dash of r e to the power of I theta get cancelled, and e to the power of I theta, e to the power of I theta also get cancelled. So finally what we have, 1 divided by, there is no term in the numerator, 1 divided by r into I is equals to dou u by dou r plus I dou theta by dou r. Sorry, not theta, it is v. Divided by dou u by dou theta plus I dou v by dou theta. By cross multiplication, we have dou u by dou theta plus I dou v by dou theta is equals to r into I r or I into r dou u by dou r. Yes, I into I square is equals to minus 1 minus r dou v by dou r. Comparing the real part and imaginary part both sides, imaginary parts both sides, this is the real part in the LHS, this is the real part in the RHS. So dou u by dou theta is equals to minus r dou v by dou r, comparing the real part, and imaginary parts dou v by dou theta is equals to r dou u by dou r. These are the required CR equations in polar coordinates, or simply you can write it dou u by dou r is equals to, you can write that is 1 by r, no, 1 by r dou v by dou theta, and dou u by dou theta is equals to minus r dou v by dou r. They are the CR equations of f of z in polar form. Yes. If the function is satisfying the CR equation f of z is equal to u of r comma theta plus I v of r comma theta is satisfying the CR equations, and the first order partial derivatives are continuous, then by the sufficient condition for the function to be analytic, that function is analytic. Here it is that the derivative of that function is derived from this formula. There is a derivation, no need, just you are going to remember the formula. F dash of z is equals to 1 by r e to the power of minus I theta dou v by dou theta minus I dou u by dou theta. This is the formula for deriving the f dash of z. Now coming to the example, if you take the example, write f of z is equal to z to the power of n, where n is a positive integer, we write this f of z in polar form, first case, and we have to verify the CR equations. Verify CR equations and hence show that f of z is differentiable, and that f dash of z is we are going to prove n into z to the power of n minus 1. Since now coming to the solution, it is very simple solution. Since z is equals to, we have x plus iy, this x plus iy, if we write this x plus iy in polar coordinates by taking the x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta, here this can be written as r e to the power of I theta. That implies z to the power of n can be written as r e to the power of I theta whole to the power of n. Here it is r to the power of n, e to the power of I theta whole to the power of n is e to the power of I into n theta. You know that e to the power of I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta. E to the power of I n theta can be written as cos n theta plus I sin n theta. So therefore f of z is equals to z to the power of n, this can be written as r to the power of n cos n theta plus I into r to the power of n sin n theta. That means we written f of z is equal to z to the power of n in terms of r comma theta, that is nothing but written in the polar form. Now I am trying to verify the CR equations in polar form. Here it is, if you take this as u of r comma theta plus I v of r comma theta. From this we have real part is r to the power of n cos theta, u of r comma theta is equals to r to the power of n cos n theta, v of r comma theta is equals to r to the power of n sin n theta. Now I'm going to find the first order partial derivatives of u comma v. Dou u by dou r is equals to, yes, with respect to r, n into r to the power of n minus 1, keeping theta is constant, n theta. Dou u by dou theta is equals to, keeping r constant, we should concentrating on n. Cos n theta derivative is minus sin theta into n, which is minus n r to the power of n sin n theta. Next, dou v by dou r is equals to n r to the power of n minus 1 sin n theta. Dou v by dou theta, sin n theta derivative cos n theta into n r to the power of n into cos n theta. Right, we have the partial derivatives, and we know that each partial derivative is either sin or cos or r to the power of n minus 1 also there, but they are continuous everywhere, right? The partial derivatives are continuous. If the function is satisfying the CR equations and the first order partial derivatives are continuous by the sufficient condition for the function to be analytic, f of z is analytic. F of z is analytic means f of z is differentiable. Okay, right, I'm going to verify the CR equations. Dou u by dou r is equals to, what I'm going to verify, dou u by dou r is equals to minus 1 by r into dou v by dou theta, whether it is true or false. I'm trying to verify. Dou u by dou r, what is there? Dou u by dou r, that implies dou u by dou r is equals to n into r to the power of n minus 1 cos n theta. Yeah, we have to verify dou u by dou r is equal to 1 by r dou v by dou theta. Now I am going to take dou u by dou r is equal to n r to the power of n minus 1 cos n theta. This can be written as, here it is 1 by r into n r to the power of n cos n theta. See, if you are dividing with r to the power of n minus 1 can be written as r to the power of n into r to the power of minus 1. So which is same as 1 by r n r to the power of n cos n theta is nothing but dou v by dou theta. Therefore, dou u by dou r is equals to 1 by r dou v by dou theta. The first condition is over. Now coming to second one. Second one, what is that? Dou u by dou theta is equals to, dou u by dou theta is equals to minus r dou v by dou r. Right, dou u by dou theta is equals to what? Dou u by dou theta is equals to minus n r to the power of n r to the power of n sin n theta. This can be written as minus r into n r to the power of n minus 1 sin n theta. Is it clear now? Which is minus r into n r to the power of n minus 1 sin n theta. It is nothing but dou v by dou r. Dou v by dou r. That implies, therefore, dou u by dou theta is equals to minus r dou v by dou r. That means the function f of z is equal to z to the power of n is satisfying the polar equations, satisfying the CR equations in polar coordinates. Now, next I am going to, one more thing. F of z is satisfying the CR equations in polar coordinates along with the partial derivatives, first order partial derivatives dou u by dou r, dou u by dou theta, dou v by dou r, dou v by dou theta. Yes, they are the functions of sin and cos. They are continuous everywhere. First order partial derivatives are continuous and satisfying the CR equations. Therefore, the function f of z is equals to z to the power of n is analytic. Analytic, it is nothing but it is differentiable. When the function is differentiable at every point, it is at every point in the neighborhood, then the function is analytic at a point. So it is f of z is differentiable everywhere. Right, by using this formula I am going to find the f dash of z. Okay, f dash of z is equals to 1 by r e to the power of minus I theta dou v by dou theta. Dou v by dou theta is equals to n r to the power of n cos n theta minus I dou u by dou theta. Dou u by dou theta is minus n r to the power of n sin n theta. Generally, you know that f of z is equals to, you know the derivative in advance also. F of z is equals to z to the power of n, the derivative of z to the power of n into z to the power of n minus 1. That is I am going to prove. Here, this can be written as what you are going to common, n and r to the power of n, we can common n r to the power of n divided by r e to the power of minus I theta. Here remaining terms cos n theta minus into minus plus I sin n theta, cos n theta plus I sin n theta. So, which is equals to n r to the power of n minus 1, yeah, n r to the power of n minus 1, e to the power of minus I theta, cos n theta plus I sin theta by using the De Moivre's theorem is e to the power of I n theta, e to the power of I n theta. This can be written as n, here r to the power of n minus 1, e to the power of, the bases are equal, then we add the powers. Here it is I into n minus 1 into theta. Is it clear? But here since we written z to the power of n is equals to r to the power of 1 n, r to the power of n into e to the power of I n theta, right? Instead of n, what is there here? N minus 1. If I am taking n minus 1 is equals to p, so it is in the form of r to the power of p e to the power of I p theta. So this can be written as n into here z to the power of p, z to the power of p is nothing but n minus 1. This is our f dash of z. Yes, that means this problem indicates if we take the function f of z is equal to z to the power of n, we represent z to the power of n in terms of polar coordinates, in terms of r comma theta, and we verify the CR equations along with the first order partial derivatives are continuous, so it is analytic, it is differentiable everywhere. The derivative is given by this formula, yes, that is f dash of z is equals to nz to the power of n minus 1. Right, next concept, harmonic functions. This is very important concept. Is harmonic function. Suppose I am going to take a real valued function pi of x comma y. If pi of x comma y is a real valued function in two variables x comma y and having second order partial derivatives, having, that means dou square pi by dou x dou y, dou square pi by dou y square, dou square pi by dou x square are existing. The function pi of x comma y having second order partial derivatives, and this function is said to be harmonic function, or suppose that pi of x comma y is a function of two variables x and y and having second order continuous partial derivatives and satisfying Laplacian equation, the equation dou square pi by dou x square plus dou square pi by dou y square is equals to 0. This equation is called Laplacian equation or Laplace equation. If you take the function pi of x comma y, the function having second order continuous partial derivatives and satisfying Laplace equation, then the function pi of x comma y is said to be harmonic function. Thus, this function pi of x comma y is said to be harmonic function. Let us take example, one example, pi of x comma y is equals to e to the power of minus x into cos y. As dou pi by dou x is equals to minus e to the power of minus x cos y. Dou square pi by dou x square is equals to minus into minus e to the power of minus x cos y. Okay, now dou pi by dou y is equals to, keeping x is constant, cos y derivative is minus e to the power of minus x sin y. Dou square pi by dou y square is equals to, sin y derivative is cos y, minus e to the power of minus x cos y. Now adding these two, dou square pi by dou x square plus dou square pi by dou y square, it gives what? Dou square pi by dou x square plus dou square pi by dou y square is equals to 0. Therefore, and one more condition, the second order partial derivatives are continuous means first order also continuous. Second order, dou square pi by dou x square, e to the power of minus x into cos y. Cos y it continuous, e to the power of minus x also continuous, the product also continuous. The second order partial derivatives are continuous and satisfying the Laplacian equation dou square pi by dou x square plus dou square pi by dou y square is equals to 0. So we say that this function is harmonic function. Now I am going to use the harmonic function concept in our analytic functions. Right, based on this theorem we are going to understand how the harmonic function is useful in analytic functions. See, if f of z is equal to u of x comma y plus iv of x comma y is analytic in the domain D. Clear, it is analytic in the certain domain D. Then the real valued functions u of x comma y and v of x comma y satisfying the Laplacian equation. That means dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square, dou square v by dou x square, dou square plus dou square v by dou y square is equal to 0. That means Laplacian equation satisfy, when they are satisfying the Laplacian equation, automatically the second order partial derivatives are existing. Then only we are summing the second order derivatives. Right? That means if the function is analytic, then the real part and imaginary parts are harmonic. Harmonic functions in the domain D. Is it clear for this theorem? If f of z is equal to u of x comma y plus iv of x comma y is analytic, then this u of x comma y, v of x comma y are harmonic functions in the domain D. And relation also I am going to explain. Now coming to the proof, simple proof. Right, suppose that u of x comma y, v of x comma y be two functions and having second order partial derivatives. The functions having second order continuous partial derivatives. That means uxx, second order partial derivatives means uxx, uxy, uyx, uyy exist. Similarly vxx, vyy, vxy, vyx exist. Yes, see the statement. Suppose that I am going to consider u of x comma y, v of x comma y, two functions of two variables x and y, independent variables x and y, and having second order partial derivatives. From this what I am writing, uxy is equals to, we can write it uyx. Dou square u by dou x dou y is equals to dou square u by dou y dou x. And vxy is equals to vyx. Is it clear? Dou square v by dou x dou y is equals to dou square v by dou y dou x. Now, since u of x comma y, v of x comma y are having continuous partial derivatives, so first order partial derivatives are existing. Then, and function is analytic. Since f of z is analytic, when it is analytic, then the real part and imaginary part satisfying the CR equations. Analytic, then it satisfies CR equations. Yes, CR equations. Yes, in our objective is, we claim to prove the functions v of x comma y, v of x comma y are harmonic in D. Okay, CR equations. See, what are the CR equations? Ux is equals to vy, first one, and uy is equals to minus vx. So this is 2. Now I am going to concentrating on u only, right? Now differentiating one partially with respect to x. So uxx is equals to both sides, right? Dou by dou x of ux, that is uxx, is equals to dou by dou x of vy, that is vyx. Okay, next, differentiating to partially with respect to y. So what we have, uyy is equals to different, dou by dou y of uy is uyy, dou square u by dou y square, thus it stands for, minus dou by dou y of vxy, vx is what? Vxy. Say, yes, when you are adding these two equations, is it clear? For adding these two equations, what we have, uxx plus uyy is equals to vyx minus vxy. Vyx is same as vyx, no? So this one get cancelled. That implies uxx plus uyy is equals to 0. It stands for what? U of x comma y is satisfying the Laplace equation. Having continuous second order partial derivatives and satisfying Laplacian equation, then u of x comma y is what? Harmonic function. Harmonic function in D. Similarly, I am going to prove v of x comma y is harmonic function in D. Yes. Now coming to this. Now differentiating one partially with respect to y. Differentiating one partially with respect to y. So tell me uxy is equals to vyy. Here partially with respect to x. Differentiating two partially with respect to x. Yx is equals to minus vxx. Add the terms. Or directly you can add it. Uxy get cancelled. Finally what we have? Vxx plus vyy is equals to 0. Or if you write it like this, uxy is equals to vyy. Uyx is same as uxy is equals to minus vxx. Adding the terms, changing the sign, adding the terms, this is get cancelled. Vxx plus vyy is equals to 0. That means v of x comma y is satisfying Laplace equation, and v of x comma y is harmonic in, this is harmonic in the domain D. Is it clear? If the function is analytic, f of z is equal to u of x comma y plus iv of x comma y is analytic in the domain D, then the real part and imaginary parts are harmonic in D. If u of x comma y is in, suppose here it is a very important note here, u of x comma y is harmonic in D, the real part is harmonic in D, then as the harmonic conjugate is of u of x comma y is v of x comma y. What is the relation between u and v? If u of x comma y is harmonic, then corresponding harmonic conjugate is v of x comma y, and vice versa. If v of x comma y is harmonic, the harmonic conjugate of v of x comma y is u of x comma y. This is the theorem, right? Now the converse of this theorem need not be a true. Okay, if the function, if real part and imaginary parts are satisfying the Laplacian equation or harmonic function, then f of z need not be a analytic. Right? Now we go for the converse of this theorem. The theorem statement is what? If the function is sorry. If the function is analytic, then real and imaginary parts are harmonic. If real and imaginary parts are harmonic, then function need not be a analytic. Now coming to the converse of this theorem. Converse is not true. Yes, what is the converse here? If u of x comma y, v of x comma y are harmonic, then f of z is equals to u of x comma y plus iv of x comma y is need not be analytic. Let us to verify the converse, you are trying to give one example, right? Now I am going to take the example for this one, counter example. F of z is equals to x square, we take the example, x square minus y square plus I into 3x square y minus y cube. Clear? Let u of x comma y is equals to what I am taking, u of x comma y is equals to x square minus y square, v of x comma y is equals to 3x square y minus y cube. Yes, first ux is equals to 2x, uxx to uy minus 2y, uyy minus 2. Next vx, it is 6xy, vxx which is 6y, vy 3x square minus 3y square, vyy minus 6y, vyy plus vxx is equal to 0, uxx plus uyy, sorry it is minus 2, is equal to 0. Here ux comma y, vx comma y are ux comma y, vx comma y. The real part and imaginary parts are harmonic. Now I am going to check f of z is analytic or not, right? When we say that analytic, the first order partial derivatives are existing, are continuous, and it is, if the function f of z is satisfying the CR equations, yes, obviously we say that the function is analytic. I am going to verify whether ux, uy are satisfying CR equations or not. See, ux is equals to 2y, vy is equals to 3x square minus 3y square, uy is equals to minus 2y, vx is equals to 6xy. Clearly what you say, as f of z is not satisfying the CR equations. Not satisfying the CR equations means it is not analytic. If it is analytic, then it is satisfying the CR equations, right? And the first order derivatives may be continuous, but CR equations are not satisfying. Therefore, f of z is not analytic, right? This is the best example for the function is even u of x comma y, v of x comma y are harmonic in D, but f of z is not analytic. This is the best example. Okay, next. See, we are going to discuss two types of problems on harmonic functions. If u of x comma y is given, in the first case, if u of x comma y is given, we find the harmonic conjugate, that is v of x comma y, and the corresponding analytic function f of z. One case. Other case, if v of x comma y is given, then we find u of x comma y and the corresponding f of z. Is it clear for the problem? What is given, what we have to find? If the real part is given, we are going to find the imaginary part of the analytic function and also analytic function f of z. Next, other case, if imaginary part is given, we find the real part of the analytic function and complete analytic function. This see the method, this is very important, right? Try to understand the concept. Now coming to the solution. Given that u of x comma y is equals to 2x plus y cube minus 3x square y. Right, from this ux is equals to what we have, differentiating partial with respect to x, right, 2 plus 3y square minus 6xy. Uxx is equals to, again differentiating partially with respect to x, uxx is equals to minus 6y. This is 0, this one is 0, minus 6xy derivative with respect to x is minus 6y. This is for uxx. Next, uy, differentiating partially with respect to y for u. So which is 3y square minus 3x square. Uyy is, what is that? 3y square minus 3x square, differentiating partially with respect to y again. So what we have, it is 6y. Observe this, this is 6y, this is minus 6y. Therefore, uxx plus uyy is equals to minus 6y plus 6y, which is equals to 0. That implies u of x comma y is harmonic function. This is harmonic function. Now we are going to find harmonic conjugate v of x comma y. Yes, clearly that is analytic function, f of z is analytic. That means we may use the CR equations, right? By using the CR equations, we can find the corresponding what is that, imaginary part, that is corresponding conjugate of u of x comma y. Since ux is equals to, using CR equations, ux is equals to vy and uy is equals to minus vx, that is CR equations. CR equations compulsory that u is satisfying, no? Ux is equals to vy, but ux we have, that implies vy is equals to what? Vy is equals to ux is what? 2 plus 3y square minus 6xy. Vy we have, and a derivative dou u, dou v by dou y we have. From this we may expect v, right? integrating partially with respect to y on both sides. So we have integral dou v by dou y dy is equals to integral of 2 plus 3y square minus 6xy dy. There is a constant, right? Integration constant. Here now integrating partially with respect to y, keeping x as constant. So I am going to take the constant as pi of x. It is independent of y. That is the reason by taking pi of x, where pi of x is the constant. So from this integration differentiation get cancelled. V is equals to, see, v is equals to 2 into dy 2y. Next here it is plus 3y square. 3y square, y square dy is y cube by 3. 3 get cancelled, which is y cube, minus y dy, it is y square by 2. Y square by 2 is keeping 6x as constant. Y square by 2, it is 6 by 2, it is 3, minus 3xy square plus pi of x. Say this is equation number 1. Okay, we have v. If I find pi of x, then it is clear that this is the v of x comma y. I am trying to find the pi of x. Okay, and second one is what? Uy or uy is equals to minus vx. That implies vx is equals to minus uy, which is minus of uy is equals to what is there? 3y square minus 3x square, which is same as vx is equals to minus 3y square plus 3x square. Say this is equation number 2. This is very important. This step and this step is very important. We have v, here we have vx. If I differentiating partially with respect to x for 1, you will get vx, right? Now differentiating partially with respect to x, differentiating 1 partially with respect to x. So what we have? Vx is equals to 2y derivative is 0, y cube derivative also 0, minus 3x y square derivative is only minus 3y square. Pi of x derivative with respect to is pi dash of x. That implies vx is equals to minus 3y square plus pi dash of x. Say this is equation number 3. When we are comparing 2 and 3, you may get the pi dash of x, right? If you get the pi dash of x, from that you will get the pi of x. You may substitute in this equation number 1. Okay, right? From 2 and 3, the LHS are same. Then equate the RHS. That implies from 2 and 3, we have minus 3y square plus 3x square is equals to minus 3x square plus pi dash of x. Comparing on both sides, or directly you can write it pi dash of x is equals to minus 3x square, sorry, it is 3y square, no? 3y square. It is 3x square. Integrating on both sides, pi of x is equals to 3 into x cube by 3, which is it clear? Integration of pi dash of x dx is equals to 3 into integration x square dx plus c. Here it is 3 into x cube by 3, 3 get cancelled, x cube plus c, where c is a constant. We have the pi of x, right? If I am going to substitute, if I am substituting the pi of x, then you will get the v of x comma y. Right. From 1, v of x comma y is equals to 2y plus y cube minus 3xy square plus what is there? X cube plus c. What is the corresponding conjugate of a harmonic function? So here the harmonic conjugate is v of x comma y we have. Since f of z is equals to u of x comma y plus I v of x comma y. What we have? U of x comma y. What is there in the given problem? U of x comma y. U of x comma y is equals to 2x plus y cube minus 3x square y plus I into 2y plus y cube minus 3xy square plus x cube plus c. So after simplification you will get this f of z is equals, if you write in terms of z, here 2 into z plus I into z cube plus ic. This is the required analytic function. Is it clear? U of x comma y. Remember, u of x comma y is given. First you are going to verify whether the u of x comma y is satisfying Laplace equation or not. If it is satisfying the Laplace equation, then you go for the direct CR equations. From this ux is equals to vy, you will get the vy. Yes, integrating partially with respect to y, you will get v. Stop. That can be taken as equation number 1. Next, other CR equation, what is there? Uy is equals to minus vx. From this you will get the vx. Okay, in the equation number 1 you have v, no? Partially differentiating with respect to x, for this equation you will get vx, and equate these two vx, you will get that pi dash of x. From the pi dash of x integrating with respect to x for the pi dash of x, you will get the pi of x, and substitute the pi of x in this equation, will get the v of x comma y. This is the procedure when u of x comma y is given. Next, we are going to discuss the problem when v of x comma y is given, we can find the u of x comma y. Right. If v of x comma y is given e to the power of x into sin y, find the harmonic conjugate u of x comma y and the corresponding analytic function f of z. That is the reverse of the previous problem. Right. Now coming to solution. Given v of x comma y is equals to e to the power of x sin y, vx is equals to e to the power of x sin y, vxx is equals to e to the power of x e to the power of x sin y only, or differentiating partially with respect to x twice. Vy is equals to e to the power of x sin y, sin y derivative is cos y. Vyy is equals to cos y derivative is minus sin y. So adding these two, what we have? Adding these two, vxx plus vyy is equals to 0. So we say that the function is harmonic. Yes, so that is satisfying the Laplace equation, it is harmonic. And given that f of z is analytic, since f of z is analytic, then it is satisfying the CR equations. F of z is analytic, then it is satisfying the CR equations. Since ux is equals to vy and uy is equals to minus vx, CR equations. Now I am going to concentrating on what? Here from the given v, we are going to find ux, right? Ux is equals to vy, which is equals to vy, what we have? Vy e to the power of x cos y. Okay, ux is equals to e to the power of x into cos y. Integrating partially with respect to x. Previously partially with respect to y, here it is partially with respect to y. Integral dou u by dou x dx. Integral keeping y as constant, e to the power of x into cos y dx, plus as we are writing the constant, but partially with respect to x, you are going to take function of y. Pi of y is the constant, right? When we are integrating, that is y is a constant. So integration differentiation get cancelled. What we have? U is equal, same procedure. E to the power of x, cos y is a constant, cos y e to the power of x dx is what? E to the power of x into cos y plus pi of y. Say this is equation number 1. Okay, now I am going to find the pi of y. To find the pi of y, I go for what? Second CR equation. Uy is equals to minus vx. That implies uy is equals to vx, what we have? E to the power of x sin y, which is minus e to the power of x sin y. Say this is 2. Now differentiating one partially with respect to uy we have. So y with respect to y. From 1, what we have? Uy is equals to e to the power of x cos y derivative. Cos y derivative is minus sin y, minus e to the power of x sin y is pi of y derivative is pi dash of y. Say this is equation number 3. From 2 and 3, yes, the LHS are same. What we have? There is no pi dash of y, no? Here pi dash of y e to the power of minus x sin y, minus e to the power of x sin y, same. So from 2 and 3, what we have, pi dash of y is equals to 0. Is it clear or not on comparing? There is no extra term here, it is extra term. Pi dash of y is equals to 0. Integrating on both sides, integration pi dash of y dy is equals to some constant c. So what we have, pi of y is equals to c. Pi of y is equals to, therefore u of x comma y is equals to, tell me, u of x comma y from this equation, e to the power of x cos y plus c. This is the harmonic conjugate. Now I am going to find the corresponding analytic function. Since f of z is equals to u of x comma y plus I v of x comma y. So u of x comma y, what we have? E to the power of x cos y plus c plus I into e to the power of x v of x comma y, what is that? E to the power of x sin y. So which is equals to e to the power of x cos y plus I sin y plus c, which is e to the power of x e to the power of iy plus c, e to the power of x plus iy plus c. So f of z is equals to e to the power of z plus c, which is the required analytic function. Okay, this is about the harmonic functions. In the harmonic functions, you should concentrating on what? When u is given, how we are going to find v and f of z. When v is given, how we are going to find u and f of z. These two methods are very important on harmonic functions. As the next class, we go for the Laplacian equation in polar coordinates, then followed by conformal mapping. Right. Thank you.